Okay, this will be a meeting of the Town of Hennessey Board of Trustees, November 10th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Richard?
Here.
Cliff?
Here.
Bert?
Here.
Harold?
Here.
David?
Here. Item 2, report from the Hennessey United Board. Barbara,
Go right ahead,
you
Bert.
got anything? I don't have anything.
We haven't met in a couple of months, so.
Okay, item 3, consider approval of a consent agenda. Minutes of the October meetings. Approval of claims as follows. October purchase orders, $11,189.71. November purchase orders, $24,530.27. November restricted sales tax fund, $30,668. November library fund, $202.29. November street and alley fund, 0. Accept the following reports: treasurer, library, and police. Anybody got any corrections or additions to consent agenda?
If not, I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Cliff?
Yes.
Harold?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Bert?
Yeah.
David?
Yes. Okay, item 4, citizens' comments.
Is that better?
Anybody wish to speak?
Take this off then.
Okay, item
That's
5,
okay.
town administrator's report.
I read it
I don't
online,
know.
but I don't see
We've
it.
got it online, I don't think.
We didn't
Because
get
I
it.
didn't have an attachment, so
Okay.
she must have sent it out to you guys directly.
She sent it this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it.
She sent an email.
She emailed it
So,
because she's out of town.
I can get it before you leave.
okay.
We can, do you want to, Harold can read it, he's got, I don't have it on mine.
Okay.
Good morning, gentlemen. I have not had time to complete an official town administration report. I just wanted to let you know a little of what has been happening. Melissa resigned approximately 6 weeks ago, so I have no way to find a replacement. In her absence, I've had to do all the accounts payable job as well as trying to do my job. The applicants that I have received so far are not ideal candidates. I have reached out to a person who is interested in the job the last time, and we'll have an interview with her on Tuesday or Wednesday. If you know of anyone that would be a good candidate for the AP position, please let me know or have them apply. As you can see, we just about completed cleaning up Bullfoot Park. The one place left is the islands, which are going to clear out some of these trees out. I want to give big kudos to the guys because I've never seen the park looking as good as it looks now. They have really put that new machine to work between the park and the lagoons, cleaning them up. I also want to let you know that we are still short-handed in the streets department. We still need 1 employee. Also, David Trainer has been out with hip surgery, so really looking at it, we are short 2 people. I also want to give out you a status of where I'm at as far as the bulk sewer dump. I've reached out to all the municipalities in the state looking for a policy and rate structure. 2 weeks ago, I was informed by the head of Oklahoma Municipal Management Service that no one has reapplied or had any existing policies. My next step is to meet with Boney to see what we need to put into policy and get that going. I look to have something to you by the 1st of January to review. We just need to make sure we have it to where we are not getting all the rags and such from the porta potties. Also, our rates need to be comparable to others where they don't drive to those other municipalities and come to us because we are cheaper. Because if you see or know anything you would like to see fixed, please let me know. I can't do my job if I don't know. I've asked around from other town governments for job descriptions for their town administrators. And once I receive them, I will get them to you. My other idea is that I'd like to have the police ride along. How about a day with an employee? See what they all do. I really think you will be amazed at what some do. It's not all sunshine and roses. Once again, thank you for serving our community. Tiffany Tillman.
Okay, thank you for reading that. Okay, other scheduled business: discuss, approve, deny, reject, and/or take action on the following. Item A is discussion with possible action to approve quote from Stans Asphalt Construction in the amount of $77,136.50 to extend Main Street north toward Howdy Truck Plaza. That would be where Highway 81 goes north, and if you continued on Main Street past the seed company, up there, and I five-inch asphalt overlaid, 2-inch surface, 3-inch base, 18,125, looks to me like square feet. I am not sure how far, does anybody else know how far north that's
It
actually
will
gonna
take
take?
you.
This is Jay.
Oh, well, okay. Fine.
So it will take you other side of where the store building is. And then the west of, north of that, there's a diesel canopy. And that 1,800 some square feet, 18,000 some square feet will take us right north of that canopy. It will not go all the way to the disposal. It will be still shy about, I would say, 200 some feet, or maybe 300 feet.
Okay.
But that will just, it will be the right edge of the north canopy we have.
So it will go to the north
Yeah.
side of your property line?
Yes, so it will be, I think it's about 700 some feet from where the turn is, and then main on the road. But it won't go all the way, because all the way up until disposable, we have, I guess, 1,000 foot from the Highway 81 to the disposal. So
Okay.
this is 700 some feet.
Question. Is this covered by a grant, or have we applied for a grant for this?
No,
Oh,
I don't think so.
Nope.
Not to my knowledge.
oh, okay, and it's just from 51 to the truck stop, or a little past the truck stop?
Right.
Is that it? It's not, okay.
81.
It would pay that.
Yeah, but okay. But haven't we applied for grants for those,
That's Cemetery Road and Mitchell Road.
for the street, for the
Right.
sidewalks,
Yeah.
with the state highway department? Didn't we
Yes.
apply? Okay. I thought maybe this was it,
But
part
they
of it.
said they included it.
Is this part of that payback plan, or is this just flat on?
I thought that street
It
was
was-
included in the payback plan.
So the option you guys gave me, there was two different options. You guys offered 250 to do the sewer water line up until the edge of the property. And that's what I did, I'm still working on it. So we took a line from the Dollar General, from the sewer line, went out, crossed the highway, and then we went all the way where the fence line is of the water disposal. That's where the water line and the sewer line will end. So if you guys, in future, you have to extend something for somebody new, all you have to do is just tie into that.
Right.
And, but the road was the second option. Second thing, if I have to do that, and you guys will pay back. My deal is with the how everything is going right now, I'm way over budget already. And I'm not able to push in for the road. That's where I'm coming in and asking you guys. I have probably 10 different estimates for this road so far. And they are so far, they're the one who said I can beat down to this price. Everybody else is pretty high. I had an estimate from 120,000 to 90,000, 95,000, but this is the last, the best I can find so far. The second option we can have, if you don't want to take the asphalt thing, we can still pave that doing the same 5-inch concrete, putting the rebar in. It will cost us pretty much the same amount. But with that, we don't have to keep going after a couple of years and then keep, resurfacing that and all that. Concrete basically will stay there forever. So it's up to you guys, either way we take, if we do the concrete part, what I can do, I can provide every single invoice we get from the concrete company, from the guys who's gonna pour in and all that stuff, and you guys take care of it. I did the math, it will pretty much end up at the same amount what we have here. If we
To
go
put
to
concrete
asphalt,
in?
Will it handle the saltwater truck traffic?
It should be able to, because the thing is, that road have traffic on it already for years and years.
Mhm.
The ground is already really, really solid. The problem we was gonna have, why I poured 8-inch to 10-inch in my parking lot, because that was the raw land. and I had to go bigger. But the traffic on that road has been driven forever, so it's already really solid. 5-inch will hold pretty plenty on it.
How big a hurry are you in to get this done?
We are shooting for middle of December to open.
Middle of what?
December next
Oh,
month.
really?
Because we are pretty close, we are just, we're waiting on a few parts for the sewer line to get in, which we should receive by Monday. And then the David, he should be done with all the sewer lines and everything. And my everything is ready, I have the pumps already received, I'm just not putting in yet because I don't want to just put them out there right now and just let them collect dust. But inside, we should be done in the next couple of weeks. So that will give me a couple of weeks to get everything prepared and ready to open.
We are going to have a special meeting, I believe November 21st. If you think concrete's gonna be close in price, I would like to see a quote on concrete.
I agree.
I can put that together, that's not a problem, because I've been pouring, I just poured 200,000 square feet.
Right.
So I already know what the price is coming along, what the rebar pricing is. We already have a count with them, so we can.
Right, well, have them, why don't you have your concrete contractor to do a quote?
Sure.
Um,
I'm doing my own concrete.
I just think longevity wise, we'd be better off having a concrete street there than asphalt.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking, that's why I mentioned that, because the
If
concrete.
it's gonna be the same price,
It is pretty much the same price with the 5-inch concrete. Asphalt, right now, the asphalt prices are through the roof. That's the thing, that's why they are pretty much the same price.
right,
I mean, who was doing this a couple of years back, back in 2019, it will be day and night difference.
right.
But I think the concrete will be the best option. I can put something together for you tomorrow
Okay.
write down, I can get the quote from the concrete, I'm using England concrete.
Okay.
So I can have them put the proposal together, what it's
Yeah,
gonna take us.
get a proposal like this, showing the company
I got you.
that's
It's
gonna
gonna
do
be my
it.
company because I pour my own concrete. I have my own crew who's pouring my own concrete right now. So I can make the proposal where I can still provide you the invoices from the England concrete, where will exactly what they're charging me right now, I will be charging the same amount to you guys. Because since I was doing 200,000 square feet, they gave me a break on the concrete.
I know.
So we can take advantage of that.
So you go by,
Yeah.
That's a lot of
you
concrete.
go by what the running square foot for concrete, $5 a square foot, comes up about 9,000, so he is pretty close.
So,
Right.
I'm sorry, can you explain then, is this part of the payback that he was talking about? But I thought that was after they got up and operating, or I was wrong?
The payback, the program is for the sewer line and water line.
Ah,
And that I already have put together everything for you guys, I'm just finishing up the last few bills to get from David and the parts we're getting, and then I will present every single receipt to you guys, what we paid for it and all that stuff, so then you guys can put it together for you, how we wanna come up with it. I mean, the last we talked, was talking
The
about the
street one,
quarterly.
it's not, wasn't it? It was an option.
oh,
that We went with the other, we went without the street. And I need to go back and check the minutes to make sure exactly,
okay.
okay?
Bert,
But
I have a question, because I'm not familiar with all this.
Sure.
Are we making the highway consistent with the strength of Main Street? Well, maybe let me re-ask that question. Why are we putting on 5 inches of overlay?
The 5 inches is basically standard what the asphalt goes on the street, city street, not the highways. Highways are bigger, highways are 8-inch concrete,
And
with the bottom service and all that stuff. But when we come to the local streets, where we think we not have that much traffic, because highway, we guys have running about 11,000 cars or truck a day through 81. So that's gonna be a different standard for that. Where on Main Street, we may have, what, 200 cars a day, 300 cars a day, maybe less than that. So I don't think so we need that much strength. I mean, we can go ahead and make 8-inch concrete road, but it's gonna cost a lot more.
It'll double the price.
It will double the price. That's why, I can get the estimate on both, 8-inch concrete and the 5-inch concrete. And I will present you guys, and you guys decide, okay, what's the best for the town.
One of my concerns also would be the loaded saltwater trucks that go up that road.
Yes. Because they use the
How,
disposal.
how
you know.
thick of concrete did you pour for truck traffic in your parking lots?
We went for the main islands where the majority of traffic is, which is from highway to the gas can be, I poured 8-inch. Basically, all the truck side is 8-inch with the fiber. So rebar, fiber, which is about $15 yard extra, but that strength, the concrete a lot more. So basically, the 8-inch is compared to probably 10-inch without the fiber.
Okay,
So adding that $15 extra a yard helps a lot with the concrete. Where my car side is, I pour the 5-inch.
okay,
Because that's more than enough for the car load and all this stuff.
okay. Well, if you don't have a problem with us tabling this, that's what I'd recommend. And if you can get us a proposal,
I can put something together probably tomorrow and have an estimate from the company, what's gonna cost from the unit, and I will put together, have a proposal from the rebar company, how much it's gonna cost and what it will take to put that together.
okay.
And when you get those, just email those over to Tiffany.
Yes, I can do that.
Richard, did that answer your question?
Well, I'm still confused.
Okay,
I can be really dumb.
Hey, anything you have, that's why I'm here today.
You know, all these years, we've had all this heavy traffic
Yes,
on 81. And it looks like what we're doing here is strengthening the highway.
we are doing the main street. We're not doing the Highway 81.
Richard, this is the dirt road now that leads to the vet clinic.
Oh,
that
okay.
goes past
Goes
the
past the
seed
railroad
company.
tracks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong side of town.
Okay. It's the main street.
That makes it pretty
where-
simple. Thank you, Jack.
Jay, I have a question,
Sure.
kind of on that, how you approach the highway.
Yes.
And get to the highway, looks to be, would be a problem a little bit from coming down this way. Is it gonna be like able to turn and be able to look up the highway, or
So
is
the
this,
exits, are you talking about the entryways?
yes,
Okay,
That
so
was
what
a
we
good
did, we made the road 50 feet, which was allowed, maximum allowed from ODOT.
okay,
But then they let us wing out about 90 feet.
oh, okay,
So the both entrances you see on Highway 81, if you measure right at the edge of where the highway is, it's gonna be 90 feet, because it's winged out.
so yeah, it'd be a whole lot better.
It will be a lot, you
Be a whole
can,
lot better,
the
yes.
whole car can stop at the wing and not enter the highway. And
Okay,
then once they have clearance, they can just go in.
good, that's, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, that's good. That was, I had that concern because, you know,
Yeah,
how you gonna get your head turned
Yeah.
back on up?
probably the U side, because when we poured the first one, they only allow us 30 feet throat, which is throat is basically the center of that
Right,
driveway. And then I went back to them and I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Because that's gonna be basically potential accident area right there if we do this.
very good,
So we sit back with them and we talk over and then they allow us 50 plus another 40 for the wings.
awesome, good, I like that, thank you, Jane.
No, no.
This is off topic. Since you're here,
Yes.
can you just very briefly describe what's going to be inside the building?
Sure.
I'd like
So,
to, is it going to be one restaurant, or is there going to be 2 or 3 quick food places, or?
so starting with for the trucker side, we have 4 showers for the truckers. We have laundry for the truckers. I mean, anybody can use it, but it won't be the coin laundry. And then we have a separate room for the truck drivers and all that stuff. Bathrooms and of course that's the same. Then you move into the next part, which is our cooler areas. We are bringing in 100 flavors of sodas, all vintage sodas. So what you drink in 60s, 70s, we're trying to bring that in. So that will put Hennessey different than everybody else is around us. So people, let's say, in Okeen, hey, let's go there, try that something. Of course, everything we're gonna have in there is gonna eventually help the town. The more tax I generate, better for the town. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, do something different, so we can create a Hennessey point. I don't know if any of you guys have been to the Phillips 66 on 2nd Street, the Pops, it's called Pops.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
but they are known for their drinks. That's all they have is the glass bottled sodas. And people drive from all over. I mean, if you Google things to do in Oklahoma, they will probably in top 3. The reason being is they are different. I mean, if we do the same thing what everybody else is doing, it's just another gas station in town. But if we do something different, like the barbecue we're gonna do, we don't have a barbecue place in town. We don't have any barbecue place, good barbecue place, probably 30 miles surrounding us. So if we do that, that means we have a potentially bringing a business from the surrounding towns too. And then we will have, to answer your question, we'll have a barbecue, and of course we'll have burgers and stuff like that. And then we have our own kind of, so most of you guys have been to probably Chipotle or Cabaret, that restaurant stuff. So they have a concept where you walk up in line, and they have your bread, pita bread or tortilla, and the rice. You pick one of those. Then the next section they have, that's where your meat comes in. So you have steak, chicken, beef, whatever you want. The next section is your vegetables, whatever you want on that. The last section is your sauce. So you keep moving in, you keep telling them what you need. And then within 1 minute, you have your food ready, and you're out of there. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna basically copy it, but we're gonna just keep it our own brand, instead of bringing the brand in. And that would be a little bit different than everybody else doing. And of course, the barbecue, burgers, and chicken, stuff like that. And we are bringing in Brewster Chicken, which is a franchise out of Texas. They do a great job in Texas area, so that's the one I'm bringing in here.
They're like a roasted chicken?
Yes. So their concept is a little different. Instead of frying in just open fryer, they fry all their chicken in pressure fryer. And they keep the chicken moist and all that stuff, so it lasts a lot longer and it tastes a lot better. So they are the one we here, and then we're gonna have a pizza too.
Wow.
Awesome.
I assume the food is that under your company's control, or is that a franchise brought in?
No, the food is under my company control, but we are, you can say, in contact with Cisco, basically. So how Cisco works, Cisco have their own kitchen in Oklahoma City area. So let's say you want to start a barbecue program, or what kind of program you want to start, they will take you there, or they will take you your cooks there, and they will train them for a couple of days. Okay, this is what you need to do, you need to put this in, that in. So this way, once we start, our cooks are already ready to cook whatever needs to be done the right way.
Is
That-
the food area in the, 2 questions.
Sure.
Is the gas station open 24/7, and is the food part open 24/7?
Gas station open 24 hours. Food part will open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. But we still have a person in the kitchen after that. So let's say in the middle of the night you feel like you want to eat something, we'll have somebody there to cook for you. But officially the kitchen will close. My idea is to close the kitchen at night, but have an extra person. That person's job will be cleaning the kitchen, make sure sanitize everything, get ready everything for tomorrow. But at the same time being there, so if somebody does want some any food, so they will be there to cook.
I would assume like many of these full service
Yes.
stations, there would be sandwiches and things that are already pre-made and wrapped on the
Yes.
counter where you just grab one and go.
Yes. Those will be ready. I mean, we will have, of course, the cold sandwiches, those mostly store carries. I mean, we're not gonna prepare them. We will have just the company, either Daily Express or, there's a different companies out there. We can just get it from them and have them in the cooler for you guys. But when it comes to the other side, then that will be everything made to order.
Sounds good.
Where you have slushies.
We do have slushies. We have slushies.
Slushies.
We have slushies. The second thing you don't have in this town is cup to bean. We're bringing in 2 machines, which is cup to bean. So the machine holds the beans, fresh beans on the top of it. And you want the coffee, you go in there, you press the button, whatever size you want, it will grind the beans and then make a fresh brew right there. So it will be
We
the freshest
actually
coffee.
do that here.
We do? Where?
At the Hennessey Mercantile?
Oh, there we go, then that's where it's good, yeah. So that's what we're bringing in.
Just
and
saying. That's not new.
Only place I have been is the gas station, so I didn't see there, yeah. But the third thing is, it's the fresh blend machine, it's the shake machine. It's made with the fresh fruits, fresh milk, which is daily loaded in the machine, and then every night needs to be clean and all this stuff, but it will be fresh.
Have you started hiring?
I already have about 6 people, but I need 14, so I have a long way to go.
Any job, Barb?
Not another one, I don't think.
What is your role? Are you the construction manager, or are you gonna manage the place that it's all put out?
I am managing the construction part right now, but once it's up, then I will be here pretty much every day for the next 90 days. My goal is to open, be here, make sure everybody is trained for it, and then I will just maybe sweep through every other day or 4 or 5 days a week instead of 7 days a week.
I was just curious.
Yes. But I will be, for the first 90 days, I will be here pretty much 24/7.
It sounds like you'll be putting up another,
Yes, we are planning on the second one in March.
what is that going to be?
We are debating on 2 different locations right now. We are thinking about pushing, but that's gonna depend on that oil field storage, if that does happen or not. If it does happen, then that will be the first one we'll be building. But if that does not happen, then we have another place on I-35, that's where we'll be going.
Well, this is a bonus to Hennessey, thank you very much.
I appreciate that, for giving me the opportunity of doing this.
Okay, one more thing before you leave, but it's back on the subject. I think what Cliff was asking about the entrance is where Main Street hits 81, correct?
Correct.
And I think.
Okay,
you
yeah, I was
referred to
thinking about the
driveways.
driveways.
So
I
I
mean-
thought y'all were confused.
Yes, I was talking about the driveways. But if we want, I can go back to ODOT and we can extend that out too. I mean, if we're gonna do that road, I mean, we can suddenly just, all we have to do is just break the edges of it and kind of extend out a little bit.
Will DOT let you do that?
Yeah, most likely.
You
Because
probably prefer it.
they will probably prefer it because they're not the one who's paying it, we're the one who's taking care of it. So they'll be more than happy because the bigger it is, the better it's gonna be for them too.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought I was correct about being
Yes.
I was on the dirt road.
Yeah,
You know,
I was thinking about the entrances, my bad.
No, of the dirt road, because, you know, if you come up to there, you gotta turn around and look, go down, and it's gonna be really hard to see.
Yes, and I think that would be a good idea. I mean, I can visit them probably Monday and go over with them. Actually, probably I can call him tomorrow and have him come out and discuss that with him. And once I send the proposal, I can probably add that to it.
Okay.
I think that's really neat, Cliff, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, we can, on that road, I mean, you guys all have, how you guys have been there. So if somebody's making a left turn from the main street,
Mhm.
it's a little bit hard turn because the way the property line is edge up, or whoever, when they build that, however they build it, it should have been a lot pushed back. So I think what we really need to focus is the north side of that, push that out, and I don't know if we need to add more guttering to it, add more pipe for the water drainage or not, but we can certainly take care of that. We need to push back that side, I guess that would fix the problem. If you think about going right, it's not a big deal, it's the one, whoever's making a left turn, those are the one problem.
Okay. It just looked hard to make. that
It
turn.
does. I mean, for the cars, it's okay, but the semi truck,
Well, that's
yes.
what I was talking about,
Yeah.
you know, you got 18, 53 feet behind you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're gonna give them an option for both sides to exit, but I think it's best to have that fixed.
I agree. And thank you.
How come you off topic again, but you're here?
Sure.
What made you decide that Hennessey would be a good spot for your business?
Hennessey, a lot of people don't think about how much traffic the Highway 81 carries. And I originally came to buy the spot on south of the town. The one have the old CNG station. So I was able to get the deal for the land where the concrete is. It's just only 3.5 acres. But the local gentleman, he didn't want to sell me anything in the back. And that's how I end up with Scotty, and Scotty ended up selling me that land. I really appreciate that he did that, because that's a really good spot, actually.
Okay. Item B, discussion with possible action to approve, deny town board members to be assigned oversight duties by department. David?
Okay, I've got a short pitch here. I've got 6 bullets to talk about. After a conversation with Tiffany a couple of days ago, and her work concerning her workload, and some of my own observations, I think we need to come up with some ways to where we can help her. And when I'm talking about that, I mean oversight with advice, not directing any employees' activities or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about here, okay? I wanted to get that cleared up front. We all know, the whole board here knows, and most of our citizens know, that we're working multiple projects, multiple programs, and lots of issues. I have talked to previous board members about this topic, and some of them liked it and enjoyed it, and then of course some of them didn't. So I've heard positives and negatives. I think I would like to do it because of the duties and responsibilities for us called out in the Oklahoma Statute 11 and the OML guidance that we get. We could split up the departments among us 5 board members, and we could be, I think we could each focus on one department and make things a little bit better. I'm not saying we can make everything perfect, but I think we may be able to make things a lot better than we're doing right now. If that makes sense. Another thing that I would suggest that we do if we approve this is that we assist the supervisors and our administrator with the upcoming annual planning meeting that we've got scheduled in January. I think I would like to, you know, now that I'm on the board, I would like to really get engaged in that meeting, and I was kind of thinking all you guys would want to do that too. Another thing that's important to me is enhancing the communication between us and the town administrator, Tiffany or whoever's in that position. It's not personal, it's just I think we can greatly improve communications. Another thing about trustees being assigned to departments is you can become familiar with and establish a working relationship with the supervisor and the employees. You know more about their issues. Doing that, we can make suggestions to the administrator and supervisors. Again, advice only, suggestions only, not directing any activities. The laws here does not show that us trustees have the authority to issue any directives to any employees, and I recognize that. Another thing that I think we should be doing, and we could do it departmentally, is we need to engage our citizens, our town citizens, to obtain customer feedback for each department. By that I mean, you know, let's listen to people. They might be, I'm thinking, they might be, our citizens may be more comfortable talking to people like us, and being as we're elected board members. I've been getting quite a few calls and discussions lately. I don't know if you guys have or not, but versus walking in here at town hall and voicing problems. Does that make sense? So my goal on that last bullet is for us to engage the citizens to obtain customer feedback for each department and assist supervisors with action plans as needed per the trends recognized or evidenced by the feedback. Now, feedback can come in different ways. It can come in complaints over the phone, complaints face-to-face. I've even thought about trying to get a customer feedback forum set up. Tiffany may already have one, I don't know. And I know she's not here tonight to talk to this stuff that I'm throwing out here. But I mean, all of this that I mean is, my meaning is constructive, not destructive. I'm trying to sell a little bit of a change here from what we're doing now. And again, I'm basing it on some of the things that I've heard from some of the other board members in the past. And I really think that, that if we did some of this stuff, I could talk about this for a couple of hours, and I know everybody's kind of in a hurry to get to the ball game tonight. So I'm going to end it here. I would like to hear back from you guys on this tonight, and I would like to vote on it.
Let me,
Can I start, can I add two more things?
sure.
Okay. I meant to say this at the beginning. I'm pulling the trigger on this a little bit early. I was going to wait on this until after the election and the new board gets seated next year, which is just a few months away.
I think that would be an
Okay.
excellent idea.
Well, what triggered me to bring it here and put it on the agenda tonight and discuss it is, if you remember at our last meeting, Tiffany was talking about she needs her position description rewritten. And one of the things that I've been thinking about that too. One of the things that I want to work from our perspective is communicating with her. Does that make sense? And then I won't talk about her position description or whatever we're doing right now. I know we're not supposed to talk about things like that in this meeting, but that's the reason I'm bringing this forward tonight. I'm not trying to, you know, change things dramatically, or I'm trying to make it easier on her performing her duties, and me and you guys trying to comply with this stuff right here in Oklahoma Statute 11, duties and responsibilities of trustees. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I would like to, I know that she is trying to get some job descriptions in for town administrator. I would like to wait on this until we can kind of do all that at one time. I feel like this change is going to affect the town administrator's job in a pretty significant way. And Tiffany's not here for us to ask questions or talk to
Right,
about.
yeah.
And I understand you want to get it done, David, but, and I'm not really trying to put you off, but I feel like I need more input.
Yeah, right, I understand.
I need to read what you're looking out there, because
Yeah.
I haven't, you know, I saw the agenda late last night. I've been busy all day today.
Sure, yeah. I just don't want to make, I don't want, you know, the citizens and our audience and our viewers on YouTube tomorrow to think that I'm trying to chip away at anybody's job description.
Right.
But here's what we got. We got to make a decision, are we going to hire a public works director or not? We've kind of kicked that around before. If we're not, then Tiffany's going to end up with all of those duties and responsibilities. That would be my
What
guess.
she's got now.
And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my opinion, she has a lot on her platter. And I don't know if I could do it if I was her. And we could possibly make things easier on her if we could, you know, be her. I guess what I'm saying is, in the military, we used to call it eyes and ears. I need you to be my eyes and ears. I think she needs some eyes and ears helping her to have information available to her to make decisions with. And at the same time, we will have the information also, and we will be able to make decisions with that same information. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, you know,
And I
take
think,
over anything.
I think also, rather than voting on this tonight, I really feel like if we're going to do something like that, we should have a policy in place. I feel like the employees should know what the board member over their department is there for, and is not to not to delegate day-to-day work.
I understand. I get you. I can draft up some stuff to go in the trustee handbook.
Okay.
Would that help you?
Well,
And
yeah,
Tiffany?
but, yeah, I think we just need to, and it may take a special meeting. I hate to keep having meetings, especially this time of year. However, I feel like if we're going to discuss a, more or less, a job description or protocol for the town administrator, and if there's a possibility of incorporating some of this into that, I feel like we need to devote some time to it and sit down, a good roundtable discussion and
Well, like I said,
talk about those things.
you know, like I said, I mean, I realized when she talked to us in the last meeting about, you know, hey, I really need you guys to work this, and I started my thought processes, and I'm thinking, well, I wonder if we're gonna hire a public works director. You know, we need to make that decision before we can write anything against her position. And then we write her position, and then we need to make sure that we get communication stuff in there.
Right.
Okay.
And I've asked Tiffany several times in the last 3 or 4 months if she is getting overwhelmed, we're shorthanded in the office, we're shorthanded out on the street, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
And she's told me up to this point that things are okay so far, but that's why I'd kind of like to have her here.
Yeah, exactly. I
And
understand.
get some input.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
I totally agree that she's doing a ton. I mean, a lot of stuff.
When I put both of those job descriptions together that she sent out to us, I was taken aback, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to help her, and I know you guys are too.
You've served on the board before as a trustee in charge of it.
Yes, I have also.
So what's that like?
That's why I think there needs to be some clear-cut policy to it. You know, I know several years ago, a trustee was appointed police commissioner, and I was not on the board at the time. He told me about it. He went in to visit with the police chief. The police chief got out a big yellow legal pad and said, okay, give me the names. And he's like, what names? And he said, who you don't want us to stop, who we can't give tickets to. And, you know, I just don't want to see anything go back like that.
And you wasn't on board, that was the horse and buggies.
Have you ever heard of race horses? Some of them go pretty bad. But seriously, I know of a couple of times, and I know Barb remembers this, we were short police officers and 2 trustees brought their shotguns from home and got in an old surplus ambulance we had and went on patrol every night. And I think that's setting the town up for a bad situation.
That is not what I'm talking
I
about.
know it's not, David. I know it's
That
not.
is not what I'm talking about.
I know.
It is funny though,
I know.
and I believe you that it happened.
Yeah, like Bart said, it wasn't really funny.
Okay, sir, so you're gonna table this
Is
item?
that okay with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just,
I mean, it's your item, and I don't,
I appreciate you listening to me through what I've got here.
yeah,
When we do it again, I'm gonna have this enhanced.
okay,
I felt like I cut you guys short on some of my thoughts and information that I have.
okay. No,
We'll do it again. Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
David.
Thank you.
yeah, appreciate that.
Thanks for listening.
And,
It's on our radar, that's what I wanted.
okay. Sounds good. Item C, discussion with possible action to renew employee health, dental, vision, and life insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We've got a packet, and I think you're Pete.
Yes, sir.
I'm not.
You are right.
I have not met
you guys
you
got one.
Yes.
officially.
I printed it all out for them, Pete.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
I'm glad you're here.
Yep, thank you guys for having me.
His father-in-law used to.
I printed it off for everybody. Sorry, I did your job.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Wait a minute, his is thicker than.
I know yours is, probably because his is only one page.
Uh-huh.
I did front back.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
saved paper.
I just did on the front, okay. It should be the exact same thing. So,
Up there, if we're gonna address them, please.
oh, yes, I will. Thanks everybody for having me out. I've spoken with Tiffany on this. She has this information. Overall, you guys have a tremendous renewal this year. First of all, you guys offer a really, really, really good benefits package to your employees. The plan that you offer is really the best plan out there, one of the best plans out there with as far as the deductible and the out-of-pocket being very, very low. If you'll notice, and Bert's got the right page there, the rates only went up about 2.8%, which was about $3,600 a year roughly. Comparatively speaking, that's one of the best renewals that I have right now. Really one of the best ones I've had all year. I mean, obviously with, inflation and everything else that's going on right now, the average renewal is pretty much about 10%. Right now is kind of what we're seeing. For some reason, Blue Cross, I guess they just really like you guys, like that plan that you're on, and it just happened to be at 2.8%. So, all things considered, I would probably take that and run with it. There's just not a lot of that happening out there, and I think you guys are in a really, really good spot to just continue to keep that plan.
Well, like Pete said, we offer our employees one of the most Cadillac health insurance plans, I think, available anywhere.
It is. There's a plan for you guys available that's better, really. That's all I'm true.
And I feel like I think it's very important for us to keep our employees on that plan.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we pride ourselves in is at least having decent benefit packages for our people.
Absolutely.
And so I would like to recommend that we renew it as presented.
And the other thing I would say is your dental, your vision, your life insurance, absolutely no changes to those. Same prices, same plan benefits. There was no change to any of that, just that change to the medical I just described.
I wish I could get on
Me
this
too.
plan.
Actually, me too, by the way.
Yeah. I have a real- Okay,
I'm just saying, I use it all the time. It's a good plan.
Yeah,
yeah.
it really is.
I use it all the
really is.
Yes. I make a motion to accept Blue Cross and Blue Shield renewal.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
David.
Yes,
See, if you'd known this was gonna be such an easy sell, you wouldn't have to driven all the way up here.
No, I don't mind doing it. Hey, it was totally fine. I'm glad to be able to do this every year. Appreciate you guys and all your employees and everything. So, okay, anybody needs anything, just let me know.
Yeah, I want to be put on, no.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I know the policy.
Me too. Thank you guys. Yep, you too.
Okay, item D, discussion with possible action to contract with Heartland Medical to be Hennessey Fire Department's medical director. Let me explain that a little bit, because I'm sure most people in the room are saying, why would a fire department need a medical director? We used to have several EMTs on the fire department. In the past 10, 15 years, that has dwindled down to where we had none. We now have Brandon Scott, who is certified EMT. We've got Randy Bonstead and Levi Copeland, who are here with us tonight, who are going through EMT school. I think they would both tell you that it's going through them, but very proud of that fact. To be a licensed EMT and work in an agency, you have to have a medical director. Heartland Medical is owned and operated by Dr. Warden, who is Warden, W-O-R-D-E-N. He is Life EMS's medical director and is also medical director for many other fire department agencies in the state. This contract would be annually and would be $500 a year. And they would provide training for continuing education for our medical personnel and our fire department annual CPR training and many, many other benefits to that. I will kind of let you all in the public know one of the things that has happened with fire responses over the last 5 years. Hennessey Fire Department typically used to run 60 to 90 calls a year, depending on how dry and how many grass fires we had. What run number are we on today, guys? Do you have a clue approximately?
I believe 229.
220.
Yeah, over 200 for sure.
Over 200. So our call volume has at least tripled and some years quadrupled, all due to medical calls. We are not really seeing an increase in fire calls. We're seeing a huge increase in medical calls.
I have a list up there somewhere where it tells you how many medical calls and fires you guys run.
But your police reports,
All fires.
Like emergencies is like, I don't know how many it is.
15.
Fire, full fires.
Here are
12 I'm in trouble.
For the month.
Of course, some of those fire and medical or some other things, you go on fire, it's not necessarily fire, but it's.
Right.
Anytime you guys get a run sheet, that's what I included in that.
That's what you're doing, okay. Now, let me also explain, we have a top-notch paramedic level ambulance service in town. So some of you may be thinking, why do we need EMTs in the fire department? When it comes to lifting and moving patients, it's very beneficial to have that training. And we do not allow our firemen, if we get called out on a lift assist call, which is frequent, I can't even begin to say how many of those we've been on this year, but probably well over 50 to 60 this year.
Oh, yeah, there's like 2 or 3 a week.
Yeah,
in the reports.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. But anyway, our policy in the fire department, we do not allow our firefighters to pick people up on a lift assist unless they have been evaluated by EMS. So we're not picking up grandma with a broken hip and putting her back in bed and leaving and finding out later that there was a problem. So that's a long way of me telling you what Heartland Medical can do for us. It's a long way of me telling you I'm extremely proud of these 2 young men behind you on the back row, as well as Brandon. This is not something we require to be a firefighter. This is something they are doing on their own to help benefit the community. So I would like to see us contract with Heartland Medical at the rate of $500 per year. Yes, sir.
$500 for everything provided is so cheap.
Yes.
Why is it on the agenda? Why isn't that just an automatic?
Because it's an ongoing contract. If that was a one-time expense, it wouldn't have to be on the agenda, but it is an ongoing expense until the town board would bring it up on an agenda and vote to discontinue that service. So as anything that's an ongoing contract has to be approved by the board.
Well, this is so inexpensive, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And it will also allow the fire department to be an
I will do that,
EMR agency, which is emergency medical responder.
Okay.
Anyway,
Take a motion to accept the contract with Heartland Medical to be the Hennessey Fire Department Medical Director at $500 per year.
Say your second. Say your second.
I second that.
Roll call.
Harold,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming. You want to say anything before? No? Are you sure?
So including that 500, does the police department train through that too, like our CPR
Yes.
stuff? Will they be doing that?
Yes.
I assume so, but I'll
Stop the
make sure.
bleed.
Yes, to stop the bleed and those training programs.
Just for reference, so with our EMT class at Heartland, we actually are on a scholarship, so it doesn't cost us anything through a different rural grant. But for reference, Autry was gonna charge us $2,500 a person to go through an EMT course. Through Heartland, if we would have had to pay for it, it would have been $650.
Where do you do your training here in Hennessey or somewhere else?
We have skills in Kingfisher. They have several different locations throughout the state that we can go and do our skills training. Everything else is done online. So,
I think that you two are gonna do your ambulance clinical training with Guthrie, right?
I believe so.
Guthrie.
Yeah. So,
They were gonna do it with Kingfisher, and Kingfisher told them they didn't feel like they had enough calls, they needed to go to a busier department. And yeah, Randy brought up a good point. They're actually going to school on a scholarship provided by Heartland Medical, and we weren't even contracted with them. But,
Nice.
So we definitely got our $500.
yeah,
And also Brandon's still in the process of doing his advanced and
yes,
trying to get the same scholarship we applied for his advanced EMT. And
Yes.
they're just now starting that, so when our class is done in January, he'll roll right in and do his advanced if he gets his scholarship as well, so.
advanced TNT, for some of you that are unclear on what all that entails, used to be, back when I was certified, it was called an EMT intermediate, but it's called advanced now. What it does, allows the medic to start IV fluids, to maintain airways through intubation, just like they do in the hospital. Can really, out here in the rural areas, can really make a huge impact on a trauma patient. So,
I have a question. So this is a $500 per year?
yes.
I just want to make sure.
You can't do anything for $500 a year.
Okay.
But the second thing, I want to get in and I want to say that I will take care of that 500 every year for the town. You guys
Really?
can put it on me, yes. Every year
Wow.
I pay for it.
Well, we appreciate that.
I want to help because this, I mean, it have to work both ways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys gonna help me establish a business, and of course I want to pay back at the same time.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you,
your,
Joe.
Thank you.
we appreciate your support.
I'm here for anything at all, you know, I have to work together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's very generous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item E is discussion with possible action to approve the 2023 meeting dates. This is something we have to do every year. You'll find that in your packet. Katie has assured me none of these fall on holidays. I already see October 12th, that's Columbus Day.
Okay, well, it doesn't fall on any of my paid holidays. So you guys don't get them anymore.
City Hall's closed on Columbus Day.
It's Indigenous Peoples' Day.
Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. Maybe let police forget.
Hey, I asked you to look over this last week.
But I thought always it was on holidays were always on Monday.
They are.
Holidays should always be on
I don't know
Fridays.
what the. But,
While you're off
Coming
tomorrow.
no, I think it looks like a good list.
You have that, Harold?
Yeah, make a motion to approve the 2023 meeting dates.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
And by the way, Columbus Day is October 9th, sir.
Okay. Have you never mind. You're too young.
Yeah.
You were raised in a time when all holidays fall on Monday. All right. Item F, discussion with possible action on future emergency dispatching. I wanted to get this on the agenda just to give a heads up. Harold brought up a point back in the summer when we were working on budget about possibly contracting with County 911 to do our emergency dispatching. I had some reservations about that at the time.
You want me to listen?
Huh? You want to? No. Bottom line is Kingfisher County Commissioners appointed a new 911 director. I really feel like 911 is going in a good direction. I actually went down a week ago and sit in about 4 hours with them. They invited me back every day because they did not get one 911 call while I was there. So they thought I was good juju and wanted me to keep coming. But on a serious note, Aaron has been down and sit in. Tiffany has been down and sit in through some of their shifts, I guess, lack of a better word. This isn't anything that I want to take action on tonight at all. I just kind of want to get it on everybody's mind, be thinking about it. There are pros and cons to it. One thing that I was very concerned about was our officers having backup, and we will make sure that the radios will reach, and they do. I mean, but we're going to do some testing to make sure that we're not going to have any radio issues with getting.
You can overcome the incompatible radios, Motorola versus what you have and that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So would we not have any operators at the police station?
Barbara, that's something that
Who do you call me, Barbara?
You used your whole name.
I know, it's like mother.
it's not, that's something that we're going to have to decide. I know Tiffany has thought of having still one daytime person to take care of. They would not be dispatching, but they would be in the office for people to obtain police reports. They would also be taking care of the court docket for traffic citations and such. And Aaron, you can explain that a whole lot better than I can.
Can or not. I think you covered it, Bert.
But
No, that's what she talked about, is having somebody there during the day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, to do all those kind of things. And they could also, they would still have a radio in there, so they would still be able to speak to us if that was a problem. Another thing we talked about is we get a lot of non-emergency calls here, like all kinds of emergency calls. Or, hey, our water's out. Okay, you need to call town hall. Here's the number. But, so we talked about, like on the weekend stuff. So I had talked to the director of 911 down there and asked him how we could make something like that work, because I'll be honest, a lot of our calls we get aren't police matters. I mean, most of them aren't. So I asked him how that would work and all that stuff, and he said we could just, on Friday afternoon, their calls, our non-emergency calls, go straight to them. And they could dispatch it out just like that if they needed to, and get a hold of whoever they would need to, just like we do. Like on the weekends, if somebody's out of water, we call Kyle or whoever's on call that weekend. They would be capable of doing everything we can do. As far as, did you get the same thing, Bert?
yes.
I mean, there's we have VoIP phones, they have VoIP phones, we can just transfer it to them just like we do town hall and all those places. So that shouldn't be an issue.
One of the things that on the emergency dispatch, they've got, of course, they've got computers that will pinpoint everything. And we're already on a system, the fire and police on a system called GeoSafe. And as long as the firefighter or the police officer has their location turned on, 911 can sit there and pinpoint exactly where you're at. If these two guys back here had theirs on, 911 could see exactly that they're sitting here.
You know, mine's on in my car right now,
Yeah.
so they can see that I'm sitting here, I don't know, probably wondering like, what's going on.
So do you leave it in your vehicle, or is that supposed to be on
So-
your body?
We have our work phones the police officers have work phones that have GeoSafe on them also. So your phone is in your pocket, your iPad in the car has GeoSafe on it also. So they'll see where your car is and they'll see where you are personally.
One thing I would like to see, if we do come to this step, some policies put in place, like not trying to tell you what you need to do in your department, but I think it'd be very important to have a policy that police officers have their location on at all times while they're on duty. So if, heaven forbid, anything went wrong on a traffic stop, their location down to the foot is pinpointed.
And it's already like that, but it's not, and the new policy is written in it.
Good.
So one of the gripes that I had when I brought it up was police officer safety. So what changed over that in the last 6 months? And the 911 center not giving very good directions on calls.
Well,
I think, sorry, Bert, on the calls thing, I think most of it's miscommunication. The problem we have now is somebody from Hennessey out 2 miles east of town, right? They'll call 911, they'll transfer it to Hennessey PD, then Hennessey PD will transfer it to live, and it's just, by the time it gets there, it's been 10 minutes, right? So not necessarily in that scenario, they're lost, it's just, there's a lot of time lost, because we're all transferring to somebody else and now they would take care of all of that, instead of bouncing 3 different places to get to where it's officially supposed to go.
So what about officer safety? That, you know, that was brought up a whole bunch the last time. I'm for this.
Yeah,
I'm just, you know, last time when I brought it up, it was, you know, that
I think the biggest
main topic.
concern when you brought it up, it was the radios was the biggest issue for officer safety, if I remember right. Somebody can refresh my memory if I'm wrong, but
no, that was my biggest.
I think the biggest issue is the radios, and I think the way to take care of that is repeaters in our cars. I think it's the simplest thing to do is to have the repeaters. But I know I can talk on my radio from the jail right now to Hennessey just fine. So I don't know if it's their radios and they don't have a repeater down here. Jack, you may know that too, or what their problem is with that. But ours work just fine in Kingfisher.
Their new digital radios are pretty strong.
Well, yeah, I haven't heard their digital radios yet.
Yeah,
So
they're cleaner than yours.
are they?
Yeah.
Don't try to run it in.
Sorry.
All right. So next month we're getting new radios.
But yeah, you can hear them very well here.
Yeah, but a solution for that, I assume, would be just if there was a problem with repeaters in your car. I don't know how that works with your handhelds.
I honestly
But-
think the repeater you have can be tuned to throw that direction
Yeah.
farther, and that would fix it. And I know I have a little trouble in the city limits here in Kingfisher a little bit, you know, with height with buildings or houses, but on the highway and on the fringe, they're nice and clear.
For us old folks, can we get police scanners now that can hear everything?
There's an app on your phone.
Police scanners are different than they used to be. They're very, very expensive now, and,
Because
you
all
know,
our stuff's encrypted.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Ours is encrypted, yes. But there are scanners you can get. There's apps you can get. You can listen to scanners from Chicago and LA and all those places.
Sure. It's different than you used to go to Radio Shack for, you know, $100 and get a scanner. Now, you know, we spend $1,000 per unit. And then you have to buy a license to hear whichever model radio. You know, for example, the Kenwoods, it's $75 on top of buying a radio. Motorola's another $75 on top of buying a radio to be able to monitor those things. So it's very expensive. Yeah.
I think there's still some questions that we have
Yeah.
for them, but
I tell you what, this is mainly on the this is mainly on the agenda for transparency. I don't want and Aaron's talked to our dispatchers, didn't want them hearing it, that we were talking to 911. I wanted everybody to know what was going on. There's still some issues to work out, and
Is there a cost savings for doing this, Bert, or what's the major benefit?
there's a major cost savings, and they would charge the town. Our taxes pay 911 emergency calls, but there would be some costs involved because, as Aaron said, they get a lot of weekend calls for the neighbor's dogs barking, which kind of is borderline, but a lot of calls for water outages, or when is the dump going to be open, and just.
So how is the cost determined, percentage-wise?
I think it's by, how did he describe that to us? It was basically kind of like population or something like that?
I think it's going to be based on population, Barb.
Tax income?
We're still, so, I mean, we haven't even really gotten into the nuts and bolts of a lot of that yet. And as far as cost savings, it would save the salary we're paying dispatchers now.
At one time, when I looked at it, the last time, it was like 150,000 to 32,000. I mean, those ain't exact numbers, but pretty close.
Did she give us a price that he gave us the other day, an estimate? I don't remember if you did or not.
I can't remember, I can't either, Aaron, that's why I'm sitting here trying to think, but I know Tiffany's been talking with Ryan, the director's name's Ryan Dethridge, and
If I think of it, I'll be happy to let you know, but I don't know.
yeah. Okay. New business. Citizens' comments again. Councilperson reports.
I would say I would really like to see that new window. The new window of the town hall is tremendous. It looks really great.
It does. I think it works too, doesn't it, Shelley?
Yeah.
Wish the person who ran it
Do what?
did. So I wish the person who ran it did.
Well, you're sitting pretty close.
She can get her hands.
Is that all
I
you
know.
got?
That's all I have.
Richard, do you have anything?
Nothing,
Dave?
sir.
I just want to tell you guys, thanks for the fire department for your service. Thank you for Howdy. I hope it does well for you. And thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And thanks for that donation you gave.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
We can go through this one, I think, pretty quick if Harold doesn't hold us up on his item. This will be a meeting of the town Hennessey Utility Authority Board of Trustees, November 10th, 2022. Roll call.
Richard,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cliff,
Thank you.
Count me out of this roll call.
Bert,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Harold?
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
David.
Here.
Item 2 is consider approval of the consent agenda, minutes of the meetings, approval of claims as follows. October purchase orders, $3,414.96. November purchase orders, $134,809.20. November meter deposit refunds, $11,307.77.
Wow.
That's
We got that many
that's
people leaving
October
town
and November.
that we're refunding water deposits too?
What?
Did we have a mass
Funded
exodus of the community?
$11,000.
They just moved.
Wow,
Yeah, we had a lot of move-outs.
I've never seen that number that.
Wow, me.
Usually it's $300 or $400. And the treasurer's report, are there any additions or corrections to the
That's all the checks were, probably.
consent agenda?
If not, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Cliff,
Yes?
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes?
Bert,
Yes?
Richard.
Yes.
Called you twice.
Oh, sorry.
You get to vote twice.
That's why you go in order.
It's in the federal government, we can only vote once here.
Oh, man.
Okay. Other scheduled business, discuss, accept, approve, deny, reject, or take action on the following. Item A is discussion with possible action to reopen the bulk sewage disposal, Harold Shaw.
My deal is, we got the mobile home deal down there where people can go and dump raw sewage in. We got some businesses that also use it. My deal has been closed for now approximately 6 to 8 months. You know, I think we need to open it back up. That's revenue the town of Hennessey was making. You know, I know that in her administrator's report that she's wanting to do look at other towns and see what they charge, you know. But my deal is we can make that change even if it's open. You know, in the reports that she's gave us that we've asked her for, you know, we've spent $43,000 on fixing the mulcher and the pumps down there, but you can't blame that on the dump site. That's for the whole town of Hennessey and everything being used through there. But according to her numbers, she's not here, you know, we've made $74,000 since 2019, and we spent 43. So just the dump site itself is paying for our damage. Is that the whole town has been, you know, I just want to see it get back opened up where we can, you know, start making some money off of it.
Couldn't you simply put in an oil field screen like the trucks that dump salt water and stuff? I mean, that would just solve a lot of the stuff that's getting in there.
The problem that you got is you can't tell me that a kid didn't flush the rag down from the house.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Right.
You know, because we all had boys and stuff gets flushed down the toilet, you know. Woman products, whatever, you know. So, and our mulcher's like 10, 15 years old, so it's gonna be
Right.
maintenance on it. So,
And
and so is our pumps.
Right, and all the sewage in town goes through that. I think what she was wanting to do was to write a policy, maybe have signs up down there or whatever to prevent porta potty. And I'm not sure what the thoughts were on that, if there's more rags and stuff in those, because
What happens on your porta potties, especially out on locations, or the toilet paper seems to disappear out of them. So the only thing you have left is rags, you know. So naturally, that's what they're using, you know. You know, so you hate to go to the porta potty and you gotta take a rag with you, but, you know, or the weather's bad and all the toilet paper gets ruined, and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, my only deal is, you know, it's not here to dispute the number, so I won't get into the number part of it, but we're losing money every month that it's closed at the town of Hennessey.
I know there were some issues, I don't know what they were exactly.
Like that, one was the mulcher going down, that's what.
Yeah, the mulcher, and the mulcher, to me, that's not really a reflection on that dump site, because all the sewage in the community goes through it. I would like to, and Frank brought this up a couple of months ago, I think, I would like to see us have a place for travel trailer to dump.
I mean, I don't know how many $1,000s we spent to build that site.
I don't know either.
You know,
I couldn't tell you.
it seems like the waste not being able to use. So,
Is it a 4-inch hose?
Yeah, or 3 inch, yeah.
3-inch?
Yeah, so it's a hose dump, so that's not where you're talking about your screens. It's not
So it
like
doesn't,
an
you don't
open.
dump into a pit, you
No.
just hook onto the hose.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, the way I understood from the people that use it is we give a key to, like, Smith's, you know, they're the local. We give them a key and they're charged one flat fee a month. You know, I mean, I could be wrong on that. I've heard 2 or 3 different ways. I heard it paid by the load, but,
You all know?
Yeah, so like, if they used it more frequently than just like once a week, they paid a certain flat rate for that whole month, and then they were able to receive a key. But if it was just like empty here or there, then they would have to call us to go over and unlock it in order for them to dump it. But we did run into some issues with others who had keys, leaving it unlocked, and then we had no clue that anyone was dumping.
I had a friend here in town, didn't know you had to pay. She's been dumping there for years.
I'm gonna say the lock's dummy locked, it's not locked.
Because a lot of the truck drivers would just dummy lock it because they know they're gonna be coming back through. But I have a friend here in town who has been dumping hers for years. She's like, we go camping all the time, we didn't know you had to pay. It's her exact words.
So I don't think that giving out a key is gonna be,
We need some kind of system.
it's not gonna be beneficial, because they leave it unlocked all the time.
Trying to think how we could get around that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's some of the businesses that were dumping 2 to 3 times a day, and we can't afford to call Brian every single time someone needs to dump to stop what he's doing
Right,
to go there to unlock it.
right.
We'll just call the police department.
Yeah.
Just sit down there.
The ones that I've used have key cards and they're programmable and.
Like
so
a
you can-
motel.
Yeah, so those things can do anything. And you can program it to work for a week or a day or an hour. You know, for example, Smith, you could probably activate his for 30 days. And at 30 days, he has to come back in and maybe give you a log of how many times he dumped or something like that.
Does that card, will that card read how many times he swiped it to unlock it?
Yeah, well, it depends on how advanced the system you put in. And it could even alert you here that someone's opened the gate. Those systems are just amazing what they're capable of doing. And there are cost-effective ones and, you know, higher-end ones, but that would be a way to, a lot of the companies we deal with, we actually did videos on how to operate those things, and they'll do all kinds of crazy things. You can have somebody with a master one that can open any of them. You can have one that will only open just that one. And, you know, this is something that could be applied to everything, you know, citywide that has a lock on it.
So you could almost add that to the bulk water too.
Sure.
Your pump houses, everything, if somebody goes in there, would have to have a key if you wanted to.
Because it would eliminate the keys all around.
Yeah, and that way you know who went in, what time they went in, how long they were in, did they lock it when they left, all that kind of stuff. And it's just logged.
Chad, do you have a rough idea how much that costs?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. There's a couple of companies we've worked with, and we've done projects with hotels and government, some military bases that have installed them and things like that.
Or it kind of sounds like maybe we need to do some more homework. It's a very good proposal, but maybe do some more
Yeah,
homework.
I agree, is,
My only deal of it is we're losing money as we go thinking about it. And that's where because we can do a lot of that stuff, you know, as we go. We've been making money with the system that we're going with, you know, that we've been working with, you know.
Start generating money now.
You
Put
know,
a camera out there and, you know, and just kind of check it for a month or so and see which different vehicles or whatever show up. And if it's just your commercial guys, I wouldn't go to the trouble doing all this because they're paying. But, you know, if you see somebody like, quote, your neighbor coming in and say, why is that guy, why is there a travel trailer there that nobody came in? Just kind of see, because you don't need to spend all that money I don't think, if it's not that huge of a problem. You need to see how big the problem is first.
Right.
So if you open it up to the businesses,
Well, they
you
already
still have
paid
to
you.
open it up to the town people also who wanna do their travel
Well,
trailer, but
let
just
that-
have them come in and, like during
Correct.
open hours maybe?
Or just say, yes, I need to go down there, you know, make a $50 deposit and you bring the key back, you know, whatever.
We're looking at special meeting a week from Monday. I wonder if we could gather up some information in that length of time. And I agree with you, Harold, I know where you're coming from, and I want to see it get open, honestly do.
That's a lot of free money in a way.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So, and we did have
if
a
we
lot
could-
of the businesses, the oil field companies that were using it.
Yeah,
Is it a manual door or automatic door?
No, it's just like it at a dump station or in a recreation center. It's a trap, it's a little pit, concrete pit with a little trap door. And you hook your hose from your trailer or whatever to it, and it just gravity feeds.
So there is no basically main door for them to
No.
get in?
No,
No.
no, it's free access to
There's no
anybody and
gate.
everybody.
There's
It's
no
not even
gates.
behind a
There's
gate.
no
Yeah, there's
gates.
no gates or nothing.
Yeah, because if there was a gate,
Yeah,
the
you
best
can't.
option will be,
The
as
key
you was
system,
said, the
yeah.
key system and have the keypad on both sides as soon they are enter, after 30-second door closed. And when they're exiting, they have to scan the card again. This way you know what time they go in, how much time they spend in, and now they're coming out.
But there's no gate.
Yeah, it's not now, no.
You know, my only deal is like, I mean, I just know we're losing money there, you know. I'll be more glad to table this until our special deal. I just think that we ought to get it
well, I
open.
think.
I'm
we need
with
to
you
do
also. We'd like to get it open again.
I do too. I don't like the idea of people unlocking it, going off and leaving it unlocked, and
I mean, my town of Hennessey citizens is taking their camper down there. We're kind of already charging one way or the other anyway to dump down there.
It's just,
You know, now out towners are coming in
if I
here,
was at
it's a
home,
different
I'd be
story.
using the one in the house.
I was gonna put the dump station in, but I will not. Now, honestly, I was thinking to put it at the edge of the property, but if you guys have that and you guys wanna, you know, get money out of it, why not? I'll just back off of that. What we can do, we can put the sign up for the passing people, whoever, let's say they have RV or something, and we can put them, okay, there is a dump station available, and give them directions to it. So this way, if somebody does stop from out of town, they can use it, they have to pay for it.
So that would be, how the town of Hennessey make their money off that. We charge by,
That's what he said, let you charge, and he'd not put one in.
Yeah.
no, I mean, if he put one in, we'd have to figure out how to charge him to dump sewer. Because we charge for, you know, we go by how many gallons of water you
So they're
use.
gonna charge the town $500 a year, right?
Hey, other option could be, if you guys wanna take,
How about the money we owe you? We'll let
we'll
you.
work with that out.
I'll table it till the meeting, special meeting, so.
Item B is discussion with possible action to renew health, dental, vision, and life insurance.
Go ahead and make a motion to renew the health and dental and vision and life insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
And I'll second that.
Roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Item C, discussion with possible action to approve the 2023 meeting dates.
I make a motion to accept the 2023 meeting dates.
Second.
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Citizens' comment?
Tired me out.
Councilperson's report. David?
Nothing, sir.
Harold?
No.
No, sir.
Richard?
Did we skip over one, F?
You're on the wrong side, Richard.
Turn it over.
Flip it over.
We was doing the,
Oh, okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we're done.
Second?
Harold,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Cliff,
yes.
Richard.
Yes.